Sahanavavatu Sahanau bhunaktu Sahaviryam karabhavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant, and may we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace unto us all. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sairam to all of you. Welcome everyone to the Sri Sathya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. And we are grateful to Swami for giving us the opportunity to continue the Gita Jnana Yajna. First, I would like to wish everybody a happy and holy Makara Sankranti. So this is a 3-day festival. Yesterday, according to Panchangam, they celebrate in USA, but the 15th is the day they celebrate in India. But here, I will talk about Sankranti significance later on after the study circle, what Swami has said and what the scriptures say. But this is a very holy period, and it is celebrated not just one part, all over India, in all the regions. So now we're coming to the Gita Yajna. So I'm all of you the participants of the Yajna. So we are going to, you received the soft copy where chapter 19, page 88, and in the hard copy page, we are going to start page 179. So last week, the main points Swami said about the Gita Lord, there is no difference between Gita and Lord Krishna. So Gita is Krishna, Krishna is Gita. So if you really love Lord Krishna, you should learn Gita because they are his words. So we should have that complete conviction, faith, absolute faith. Swami said, all must cultivate the faith. It is the authentic word of God. So anything which comes in there, you think it is God said that you should not have, it really happens. If you say Om, you will get liberated at the end. He said that people question all that. So you should have God said so, it is so. So every word God says is truth. That is one. And second thing is, Swami says, don't be caught up with just building the temples and places. But at the same time, he said they are important. In the beginning stages, you need, like you go to college, in the beginning, PhD itself, you cannot do. You need to go to primary school, then secondary school, high school. But don't get stuck in the primary school. So just you go to the temples, but use it as a place which reminds you of God. But there, Swami said something nice that you should, instead of building the new many temples, renovate the old ones, something which are not being used. Like in India, there are some dilapidated temples of Lord Shiva, Vishnu. Some people do that renovating. Actually, people who read Shirdi Sai Satcharita, a lot of you read, there Baba gives one man, there was a Shiva temple which was in bad shape. Then he says to renovate that Shiva temple, you will get good merit. So it is done. It is a big story. So read it. That is in reference to. Veravidrapa, good boy. Go Verabadrapa and Chanabasappa. There is a big story where how that relates, how important to do the renovation and how you get hundreds of times the return of what you do. That is very important. Swami says, the renovate that dilapidated places, worship, because these are built, the old ones, according to Agama Shastras with a particular thing, so they have this powerful vibrations. That is why Swami also went to all these great places of pilgrimage like Badri, and he went to Puri and Pandaripur and all that, because there are places where the great saints and sages worshipped, so they have those powers. And that's where we discussed. But main thing is we should have complete faith in God's word. What He said is true. Last week I shared, right, one story where somebody didn't have money. They lost everything. He was in Godavari floods in 1970, and he wanted to do Upanayanam. He needed money, so he didn't ask anybody. He says, if you go to God, He will give. He had that complete faith. He is not a scholar. And so he went, and then Baba, just in the darshan line, dropped in his an envelope containing 2,000 rupees. And Swami said, if you give, it comes back. We remember, at least remember the stories, even though, but you could be a scholar and you may not have faith. There is one great scholar, he used to do the Dasara Veda Sapta Yajna in front of Swami. This Venkateshwara Avadhani, I think. So this man, some of you know Bhagavantam, scientist Bhagavantam. He was this Indian Institute of the Science director. That institute itself is top institute, the only one Indian Institute of Science. IITs, there are many, but Indian Institute is only one. So here he was the director. He was great scientist. So he was doing the sacred ceremony for his son. So he heard from his daughter that this is a great Pandit. So he invited. So Swami was there also present. And there is one, the governor of Kerala. His name is Burgul Ramakrishna Rao. He was also there. And Justice Bhagan. So Swami did that. So this man is a scholar. He had a doubt. I want to see people say he materializes rings, maybe brings from his hair, hides in his robe and puts there. So he has all this mind working. Then Swami, one after another, he materialized this boy, the Vibhuti, a nice chain in front of him, just on the top, gold chain. And the gold chain didn't fit that because he's a little fat boy. So Swami did like that and it became right size. Then he gave him gold watch. Then the interesting thing is that after that, he was called for the function in Whitefield. There was a big function, everybody came. So after that, they had cooked a lot of prasad, like we do laddus. So, and Swami said, this man, please, he was new to Swami, distribute these laddus. He saw there were about 50 laddus, but there were a few hundred people. I mean, 50 laddus, how can you serve it? I feel bad. Hey, I said I serve it. So just take it. So he put it in his dhoti, the pancha. He put those laddus there. Go and distribute it. This man know that 50 laddus won't be enough for everybody. He's a smart purohit. They do that. Took 2 laddus, hide it in one part of his thing, so that if they run out, at least he has 2 of them he can eat later on. So, but he went on giving, and everybody, few hundred people, it was all enough. So it was all over. And then went to Swami, everybody received it. He himself was surprised. And he wanted quietly go and take those 2 laddus, he eat some quiet place. And meanwhile, after finishing, there was a lady doctor, it appeared. She was there in the darshan line. He wanted to have the prasadam. Meanwhile, it ran out. They said already they gave. Then she came running to this man. Hey, you are distributing. Do you have laddus? He says she was irritated. What are you talking? We already finished. Go. Then meanwhile, there is a boy came running to this man. Swami wants you. I said, I will come. He wants to go after eating his laddus. No, Swami wants you right now. So he wants me to take me with me to your Swami. He went. The Swami said, prasadam, was it enough for everybody? Everything went well. Yes, Swami, everything went well. When you eat prasadam, how many laddus do you have to eat? 1 or 2? Just 1 laddu. That lady came, lady doctor, he wants 1 laddu. You kept 2 laddus, at least you could have given the 1 laddu. This guy was shocked. So just to show us, he can multiply, do anything, and just don't be so selfish. He's a Vedic scholar. He did it, the Sabda in front of Swami, but he completely changed after that. How Swami's omniscience, how he teaches lessons, so many wonderful lessons he learned during those things, how his Swami saved him from major crisis and burning in his arms. He tells so many beautiful stories like that. What I'm telling is faith, that some simple faith is important, not even though you may have scholarship, but you have doubt. So what did Lord Krishna say about doubt and faith? You should know, all of you. Anybody says? Samshayatma vinashyati. A man with doubts will perish. He's very serious. Samshayatma vinashyati. If you go on like Jesus also had doubting Thomas. Like that. Whereas Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. The man with faith will be enlightened. So the whole secret is go from doubt to complete absolute faith. You have that. So that is what we discussed last time. Swami says, have complete faith that Lord's words are absolutely true. So I think that is where we had the main points we covered. So now we'll continue on page 179, starting the Lord has given assurance.
Okay. Sairam, the Lord has given the assurance, Yoga-kshemam Vahaamyaham. I shall bear the burden of your welfare here and hereafter. He has undertaken this task voluntarily. But for mortals and aspirants to benefit from this, they have to live an ordained. They have to adhere to the lines laid down. When they feel that they are not so helped, they have only to examine their own lives and discover how far they have kept up the commands of Lord regarding the regulation of life. They fail to examine this. They don't consider the past and future. They complain only about the grief of the moment, not knowing that it is caused by neglect in the past and ignorance of the future. This is the root of their suffering. While considering this assurance, the condition precedent contained in the same sloka, Ananya Chintayanto Mam, Yo Eja Ananya Chintayanto Mam Ejana Paripashyate.
Yashyam Nityabhiyuktanam Yoga-kshemam Vahaamyaham. That's why everybody at least can memorize, at least know the meaning. This is the Swami says, this is the crest jewel of the whole Bhagavad Gita. There is another one, Sarvadharman also. But this is the chapter 9, sloka 22. So all of you, if possible, memorize, at least remember the meaning. Yeah.
Remember me without any other thought has to be remembered. Yoga-kshemam Vahaamyaham, your worldly and spiritual welfare is my responsibility, is the crown of this condition, the final fruit. The assurance is the head, but no head can function independently of limbs. Holding fast to the head only, apart from neck and shoulders, the rest of the body is like putting faith in the key in one's hand after the iron safe has been stolen. Of what use is the key after the treasure is burgled? So this is actually, I'm going to continue because it's all connected. The conditions for the fulfillment of that assurance are Ananya Chintayanta and Upasana, meditation of the Lord unhampered by any other thought and steady worship. If unbroken meditation is absent, when worship is not offered with unconditional surrender, what justification is there to complain that he's not bearing the burden? You surrender to others. You praise and extol others. You are immersed in other thoughts. How then can he assume the burden? You serve others. You press the Lord for reward. How can this be ananyachinta, undivided loyalty? If a man is the servant of the king, he must serve him wholeheartedly. If he serves the king, loves his family, it can be termed unswavering loyalty. Serve whom you love whom you serve. That is the secret of Saranagati, surrender. Vyasa, sage who compiled the Gita, Vedas, and Puranas, made a lovely garland using the words of Krishna as flowers. Of that garland, this sloka is the crest. It is the central jewel of that garland of gems. The words yoga and kshema used by the Lord here means yoga, acquisition of something desirable, and kshema, the preservation of what is thus acquired. The discipline by which you can preserve it is ananta chinta, exclusive ananya chinta, exclusive meditation of the Lord. That will cleanse the mind. It will make you bhakta. The bhakta is recognized by these things. He talks of the Lord. He sings of the Lord. He sees only the Lord. He works and spends his leisure with the Lord. Such persons have no need to perform yajna or yaga. They need not busy themselves with meritorious acts of charity. They need not go from one holy place to another. Why should they be sad if they miss these things and complain that the Lord didn't give them the chance or the wherewithal for these? He doesn't insist on these or crave for these. Offer whatever arises in mind, made pure by sadhana. He gladly accepts all. You may engage yourself in what are termed good deeds, but if the mind is unclean, if the vessel is not tinned with the thought of God, they're all polluted into poison. He is particularly that the vessel should be clean. Note how the handful of parched rice that Kuchela offered the god with a pure mind pleased him. Read the experience of Vidura and Draupadi in the epics and Puranas. What did they offer to God? What did they offer the god? Vidura gave a cup of gruel. Draupadi had only a wee bit of leaf to offer. On the face of it, they are valueless, unable to fetch even a half a paisa as a prize. But consider how much the Lord gave in return. He does not calculate the value of things. He calculates the feelings that promoted the act. So purify the feelings in order to win his grace. Wow, that's so beautiful. I think there is a lot to unpack in here, but I thought of at least three most important things. Is that especially when he said he's promising, I will give yoga what you don't have, and kshema, what you have, I'll preserve. What I understood is also when you said, when Lord says, what you don't have is twofold. What I don't have to handle day-to-day worldly operations or worldly duties. And the second thing is, even he's saying, I think even the next page, the spiritual path, he kind of opens that spiritual path with the grace of the Lord and the Guru and the scriptures to remove that ignorance to get the moksha. I think twofold, that's yoga. And then also I was thinking, he's going to preserve what I have. So I have to keep very mindfully to have all good qualities. If I have some things that are not so good, I don't want him to preserve those. So I just have to be very mindful of that. That's one thing. And the other thing is, this grace is not a guaranteed. Unless one live a truthful life, you can't attract that grace. I was just thinking, I know we talk about Swami's grace that we wanted it very freely, but I know being a little in the lab, I want to say, even when you talk about hemoglobin A1C, it's not granted unless you really work at it to keep that a value. So the same way, everything you need to work at it to be really truthful and to live his teachings and the life. The other thing is Ananya Chintayanto Mam. It has to be single pointed. It doesn't mean in a literal sense. You do all the duties for the family, whatever, all the required, but the back of the mind, like a Tambura Sruti, all these are provided by the Lord and you're performing it as an instrument. I think that's the key thing, to have that constant remembrance and sadhana. Other thing I wanted to share is the here actually said you keep. I know this is also my favorite. The powerful retrospection and course correction. You need to really evaluate. You can't live as a robotic living. You need to live as a conscious living. I love this Simhavalokana, like how the lion walks in the forest. Looking at, well, it's moving forward. It looks around, glances from the back just to see if there's any blocks are going to come on her path. So like that, you need to have a very vigilant life. That's one of the things. Also, I think the most powerful thing at the last paragraph, he said, it's not what we offer. It's that real dedication and attitude we offer is so important than any material value that we offer.
Yeah, that's good summary. So that's what Swami here, at least last time I said, remember every word in the Gita is the word of God, have faith. Here, remember, this is the crest jewel of the garland of all the gems. That is why if anybody says what did Swami say, which is the important, this is Ananya Chintayanto Mam, chapter 9, sloka 22. And the next one is
18,
66. And then
the chapter 2, number 7.
7. These three Swami said this is the most, and here it gave. But here Swami is telling God will assured He will take care of your yoga and kshema. Yoga means what you don't have. We pray to Swami, God, give me good health because I have back pain or a heart problem, this problem. You don't have good health, He'll give good health. And you don't have a job, you lost this, He'll give you a job what you want. If you want a promotion in your job, He will give you what you don't have. Or if you don't have a house, you pray. If you don't have intelligence, these are all what you don't have, He will give. But He gives you health today, you'll feel health. Tomorrow again you lose it, there is no point. Not only giving it, but you keep it like that. You'll make sure He'll give you what you don't need, whether it is wealth, health, or whatever property, whatever it is. But kshema, that means keeping it there. So that is what He does. So, but Yoga-kshemam Vahaamyaham, He didn't say. I told this story also, anybody I don't remember. Not giving, He will Vahaamyaham. I will carry the responsibility of taking care of you. I told the story of a great Pandit in Puri. I don't want to repeat. I don't know how many of you remember that. So, does anybody remember? Huh? No, this is the Puri Jagannath. There was a great scholar. He was doing this particular thing. He said he was very poor. I don't know. Some of these Brahmins, they're so scholarly, devoted, but they are very poor. So he didn't have enough money to take care of his family. So he was going to the thing and selling whatever little he had, make money, and then so then the poor guy was struggling every day, and he says he didn't believe in that Yoga-kshemam, Vahaamyaham. He strike up on that. So I don't believe God will take care. He was so frustrated. Then that day, because he didn't have any grocery to feed the next meal, so then he went to the town and came back. And meanwhile, a young boy came to say, "Mom, your husband has sent these groceries to uh, give it to you for your meal cooking." So she was very happy. Then she saw suddenly on the boy there is a big scratch. She says, "What is that?" "Your husband did that," he said. My God, this old man is getting terrible. He's out of mind. As you get older, you get eccentric and mad. Then it is good, and he left. Then when the man came back, what is it? So today also I didn't get anything. I'm sorry, we won't have anything. No, you sent the grocery. I sent the grocery. I didn't send any grocery. Oh, that boy brought. He said you sent the grocery. He was surprised. My God, I didn't send anything. But everything he said, but one man, why did you do her crazy? You just scratched him, poor young little boy, cute boy. Why did you scratch him with the big mark? God, he was crying like anything, this scholar. Number one, God, for his sake, took care of that. Second is he scratched it off on the book so that God goes to him. Sarvaja. So even whatever little thing you do, not only to people, even the books, it goes to God. So be careful not to. So then he says, Yoga-kshemam, Vahaamyaham. I take the burden. So he took the groceries carried for him. That is why the shows God will take care of her. But what is the condition? Ananya Chintayanto Mam. So he is good. He puts a qualified. I will take care of your yoga. I will take care of keep what you give as long as you Ananya Chinta. You think about me always. That is what. That is what Swami was telling. He thinks about God. He sings about God. He talks about God. He works for God. Then that is the condition. So we should all verify, am I thinking of God? Am I talking of God? Am I hearing about God? Singing of God? And working for God. So if you don't do that, like you do, you are doing part-time work and full-time benefits, doesn't happen. So you do full-time for God, He will also take care. You don't need to worry about anything. He will auto. But that condition you need to fulfill. Ananya Chintayanto Mam. So these two are the literal or regular meanings. But there is a higher meaning. Yoga, according to scriptures, even Swami said, yoga is union with God. Happiness is union with God. So He will help you to have yoga. In the regular sense, I told you, giving health, wealth, prosperity, comforts, that is regular. But the highest is yoga is union with God, moksha itself. So He will give that if you always think about Him. But there also, that is the regular sense, thinking about Him, singing about Him. Ananya means you should realize there is nothing else exists but God. I said one of the comments, so whether you see this table, in the beginning we think about only Swami, or Krishna, Rama, Tilak. But ultimately you see in everything, everywhere, that is all exists is nothing but God. When that you feel that, then He will take care of your liberation. That is what you need to completely live in that things. For that you need to live. For example, Swami said, in the here we hear so much gossip, rumors. Swami told a nice story of Socrates. He had some guy's disciple, a lot of disciples, great philosopher. He said, Master, I heard this, because people are always curious when they hear some rumors, oh, this is happening at Sai Premnalyam or in the organization, here, there, in the society and politics. So then he says, I want to share with you. Then he says, I have 3 filters when I want to hear anything. Then only I hear. First is, did you directly hear from somebody? Because for somebody, like Aniruddha said to Chiranjeev, did you hear from him directly, or somebody it happened? Did you directly hear from that person? No. Are you sure? Number 2, is it truthful? Did you verify it is truthful? Because sometimes people just say something. Okay, that doesn't filter. Second filter. Third, is it going to be useful for me? No. So then that's why even what are we hear, first you need to verify, is it authentic? Is it from the source? And is it truthful? And then is it useful? That is for hearing. For talking, we have 5 filters. What are they? We talk many times. Anybody here? You should not just hear. You should be. First 5 filters are, next time I will ask next Thursday. First question is it necessary? If it is not necessary to talk, best is silence is golden. You can't improve whether I can improve on silence. First is it necessary to talk? First filter. Second is, if it is necessary to talk, what I am saying, is it truthful? If it is not truthful, like is it authentic, you don't say that. Keep quiet, best is, there is a great service. Even if it is truthful, third thing is pleasant. It is hitam. Is it thing? And then not only it is thing, good, it should be good for others, then it should be soft. Some people talk very rough and their crude speech. It should be mrudubashi. It should always soft speech. And then it should be not verbose. Somebody you ask one thing, did you go there? You will tell 10 things. Swami used to ask one time, I remember. She asked, when are you going? I said, Swami, Saturday. I should have kept quiet. Saturday I'm going, Swami, that person also coming that time. He said, hey, did I ask you all those things? Just ask, when are you going? That's the answer to the point, Saturday. Like that. And also, when he says, light, to show how be pointed, sometimes we get carried away, tell all those other unnecessary stories. So just be one point, be to the point. You just don't beat around bush and just be verbose and waste time. So to the succinct and to the point. So all these filters, whether hearing and talking, if you do that, then we will spend more time thinking about God, more time talking about God, more time singing about God, more time doing His work. People say, oh, I don't have to do this work for God. You will have the work. And people think, another thing here I wanted to, last week discussion came, service. People think service, there are many types of service. That is why first point is do the selfless service. Recently I had 2 doctors. One doctor, she gave some money for some project. Oh, I want to talk about it in the meeting in the stage. If not, I won't even come for the meeting. So people, how so many people, so this karma doesn't happen. We should think that whatever I do, there are good people at the same time, noble people, but we should say whatever you do selflessly. And service is giving sandwiches to people, water to people, but don't confine to that. Like, for example, here, Karthik, this group is Zoom sending it. So many people around the world are watching, people in Israel, in Brazil, in India, and here. That is a great service. So they are hearing about the wonderful. That is a service. People who did the decoration of the altar, that is a service. People who came and vacuumed the floor here and set up the altar, that is a great service. So confining only people to only sandwich, that is good project, but it is much more than that. You talk nicely, somebody is depressed, they have a health problem. I didn't even, I'm a retired doctor, but just give you comforting words. Don't worry, everything will be all right. That is service. So anything which helps the need of people, somebody doesn't know how to work with a computer, somebody goes and helps, that is service. So service should not be confined only to the things. So whatever, wherever you feel, I remember the story of 2 Nayanar saints, great Shaiva bhaktas. One is Jnana Sambandar, another is Appar. So both are great Shiva devotees. Both are very dear to Lord. One is young man, Jnana Sambandar, even at the young age of few years, 5 years or something, he was enlightened. And the other one is also great, but he was a much older man. So both of them were doing the Shiva temple, serving there, cleaning, singing. Jnana Sambandar is so scholarly. That was Jnana Sambandar. He used to sing Shiva hymns and all that. The other man knows some, but he used to clean the temple every day very well. So at the end of the day, somehow because they want to do good projects, build a temple, In their hands, some gold coins used to come. Lord Shiva used to give, they appear. So both of them. But always this upper has few extra, about 5 or 60 or 10% more. So this man was feeling bad. Jnana Sambandha is such a great devotee. He is more really scholarly than this upper. Why Lord Shiva, why are you giving him more and me less? Not that he wants for himself, he wants for good thing. It doesn't sound out. Then Lord Shiva gives a vision. You are singing my glories, he is singing. But he comes and cleans my temple every day. So he uses his hands, labor. So there is not only mind and thoughts, but physical labor he does cleaning my temple. So that is why he gets that extra merit. So everything, whatever we do, so with the spirit also is important. Bhava, as Swami was telling here, what the feeling like Vidura, he gave just gruel. And then what this Draupadi, you know the story, leaf. When did she give the leaf? When they were in the forest, they were thing. So they that Argya, when that's the thing, the sun god gave them a vessel. So whatever you have, it will be never empty. But that day, this unfortunately, that finished everything. But then this Durvasa wants to come. He brought 1,000 disciples to feed. So Durvasa is a sage who gets easily short-tempered, curses. So they were very worried. My God, she brought so many people. What to do? So then she prays to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna comes. And he says, give me something. Draupadi, she is already frustrated. Give me something to eat. I am already worried that I have to feed 1,000, you on the top of it. You are, oh no, you have something. Then he says, bring that Akshay Patra. They say, Lord sun god gives her one vessel which never empties. So he says, no, no, give it to me. She looks, and there was just a leaf left behind in that. Just a small leaf. That is what Swami says. Draupadi had only a bit of leaf. Mm-hmm. So that leaf, and Lord Krishna takes it. Let me take it. This is all his drama. As soon as you take it, then those people, 1,000 people, their stomach was full. They didn't even eat. They said, come, no, 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 we are full. We don't want to eat anything because they're so full. They ran away because this Duryodhana plotted so they will be cursed by this Durvasa, but they were full. The lesson is, if God is pleased, even with a leaf, everybody is pleased. Yatushto jagatishta. If you please God, the whole world will be pleased. Just one leaf, Lord Krishna took, all those thousands of those hermits who are with, says Durvasa, they were all satiated. So the main thing is, because she did it with so much sincerity and love, Mother Draupadi,